Hello and welcome everyone. In today's trading strategy, we will use one indicator, which is the Bollinger Bands indicator. Before we start, go subscribe to our channel and like this video. Soon we will be providing many things, from pumping signals, copy trades, crypto and forex signals, and other prizes that may be yours. So subscribe now and join our Telegram to stay updated. Link in the description below. Let's get started. In this video, we will talk about the pullback magnet system, which is the best strategy that gives big profits in a short time. Let's start by choosing the time frame, which is 15 minutes. This strategy can be used on several frames, such as 5 minutes, 1 hour, or more, but it is preferable to use it with a 15-minute frame. After choosing the time frame, search for the Bollinger Bands indicator by typing BB, and choose this unmodified indicator, which is located under the technical section here. It is good to make sure that the indicator is on the default settings, which are 20, 2, and 0. After we finished applying the indicator and choosing the time frame, we'll start with the easy example, and then we will dig deeper and deeper until we cover all the possibilities. Well, let's start with this example here. The first rule in the strategy is to find which candle has exited or touched the upper band, and we will call it candle number 1. The second rule is to find the candle that has crossed the lower band at least by half of its body or by half of its wick, and we'll call it candle number 2. The third rule is to find that the candles bounce from the lower band and touch the middle band, which is the orange line here, and then bounce down again, even by one red candle, and we'll call it candle number 3. And this is the goal we are looking for, which is the pullback movement. All we have remaining is connect candle number 1 to candle number 3 by drawing a trend line. After connecting number 1 to 3, extend the trend line so that it acts as a barrier. Then we wait for a breakout to occur. And when the breakout occurs, as we can see here, we enter into a long position. Well, this was the easiest example, so let's take another example and see what happens. Here we see that the candles have touched and crossed the upper band, so the highest candle will be number 1. After that, we see that the candles have gone down and crossed the lower band with a large part of their body, and this applies to the second rule. So, this candle here would be number 2. After that, we see that the candles have bounced up but did not touch the middle band, and this is not good because it may cause a big mistake when drawing the trend and determining the breakout. So we will wait for the next movement, and as you can see here, the candles touch the middle band and rebound downwards, and this is what we are looking for, specifically that the pullback is guaranteed. Now, to the last point, which is to draw the trend line from candle 1 to candle 3. And finally, we wait for the breakout. But what would have happened if we used the previous pullback as number 3? Simply, it would be a losing trade because the breakout location will change, and we will enter at a fake candle instead of a guaranteed one. Well, let's go ahead and see other examples. Here we find that only the first rule is fulfilled, which is the candles touching the upper band, and this means we will ignore it. Well, before we get into other examples, let's quickly review some pre-made examples and then explain some of them. Now, as you can see, all these examples are successful trades. To learn more, we will delete all these lines and start from scratch. Well, let's take this area here and see how we can deal with it. Here we see many candles touching the upper band, but they did not bounce back and touch the lower band, so we will consider them as unimportant signals. But here, on this candle, it looks a little different. So let's see this more clearly by using the replay tool. Here we find that the candles have reached the lower band, which is good. But we must also see that there is at least 50% of the body of one of these candles below the lower band so that we can achieve the conditions. And this small candle here has fulfilled this condition because approximately 50% of its wick is under the lower band, and this means that we have found the first rule in the second rule. Quickly, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the post bell notifications to stay updated with our latest trading strategies. Now all we have to do is wait for the pullback movement, and here the pullback was confirmed by seeing that the candles touched the middle band and rebounded downwards. So we can say that the 3 rules have been found, and all that remains is to draw the trend line from point 1 to point 3. After drawing the trend line, we wait for the breakout to occur. Here, as we can see, the breakout has occurred, and it is good to see that the breakout candle has crossed the middle band as well, even with a small part of its body, because this greatly enhances the signal's strength. And after a few candles passed, we find that the price has risen significantly. Let's take a look at other examples, because trading is not the same every time. Pullback movement should be lower in price than the number one. Let's take another example and let it be in this area here. Here we find that the candles have crossed the lower band, so the first and second conditions are met. But remember, if the candles continue to go down, the second condition will be temporarily cancelled. We still need to see the third condition, which is the pullback movement. Here the pullback occurred, but we must see that the candles are back below the middle band. Otherwise, it is not a good signal. For this, we will not draw the trend until we make sure that the candles return below the middle band. As since the candles or part of the candles have come back down below the middle band, we can draw the trend line and wait for the breakout to enter. And the breakout was made, so this candle will be the entry candle. Also, the result was good. Let's see another example in order to master the strategy more. Well, after showing several examples and demonstrating how to enter, let's see when we should not use this strategy. Here we found the first condition, which is the candles touching the upper band and then rebounding to the bottom. But here we find that this red candle did not exceed the lower band by 50% of its body or its wick, so we will not use it. We will wait for the next candles, and after waiting, we found one or two candles and it exceeded the lower band by more than 50%, so this candle will be candle number 2. Now all we have to do is to see the third condition, which is the pullback movement. But as you can see, there is a candle that has crossed the upper band, and this is considered wrong because the strategy is based on higher high, lower low, and pullback movement. But when we see it in this way, it is considered wrong, and it is not good to use it because the higher high has changed, and this candle here became the new high. Let's see another example of situations in which we should not use this strategy. Here we find the first condition, and here we find the second condition. Here also, we find the emergence of the pullback movement, which is the third condition, so we will draw a trend line from point 1 to point 3. But as you can see, this is not true. The trend line cannot be drawn in the middle of the candles, and we must respect the tops of the candles when drawing any downtrend. Therefore, the strategy cannot be applied here, and this trend line can be used in another way. This strategy can be used even in short positions. Just reverse the trends and conditions, and you will get the short signals. But I always prefer to use Bollinger Bands in buying positions only. But as we know, trading depends on you and your decisions because you are the one who will trade. Before we end the video, let's quickly clarify one other important thing. Sometimes when drawing some trend lines and after the breach, retracements may occur. These retracements are called corrections. These corrections may continue to rise again but may return to the bottom as well. And here it is called a false breakout. When this fake breakout is confirmed, it is better to exit the trade and look for another opportunity. The stop loss can also be placed below the lower band when the breakout candle appears, and the risk-reward ratio can be set from 1 to 1, 5 or even more. Finally, if you want to know more about Bollinger Bands Secrets and ways to use them, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Good luck.